Hi, and welcome to Mrs. Gelaro's art room. Today we're going to make a piece of art that's inspired by this book, The Worrysaurus by Rachel Braid and Chris Chatterton. And before you do the art project, please listen to the read aloud and watch the read aloud. It's really good. This is a book that was written, I think, for little ones about a dinosaur who learns to chase his worries away. And in the story, the blue butterfly symbolizes the worries that he feels inside, and he learns how to focus on what's really going on and live in the moment and not worry about things that may never happen. It's a really good book, and I think it applies to all of us because everyone has worries sometimes, right? So for our artwork, we are going to create Worrysaurus when he's not worrying and he learns to appreciate all the butterflies and happiness around him. So here's a little Worrysaurus looking pretty unworried and happy. Okay, so what you need to do is start with a white piece of paper, and for my artwork, I have used watercolor paints and also crayons and oil pastels. You can use whatever you would like to, but in the lesson, I'm going to show you how to use those things. So let's get started. So the little Worrysaurus guy needs to be pretty big. He needs to be a focal point in our artwork, and he needs to be in a corner. You don't have to draw your Worrysaurus in this position, but this is the position that I'm going to sort of show you step by step. I have one lightly sketched out on this paper. I don't know if you can see it, but we're going to start with the top of Worrysaurus's head and the top of his tail. So you're going to about almost right in the middle of your paper, go ahead and with your pencil, I suggest you use a pencil first. You're going to sketch the top of Worrysaurus's head and the top of his tail, just like this. So just go ahead and make that shape. Like a round shape and then a tail. And then this little dinosaur has a face shape, sort of like this, with a little snout. The tail comes like this, all the way to here. And then you can continue with this line, but I know I'm going to put an arm there, so I'm just going to leave that line right out of there. Leave a space for the arm. And then his leg that's showing on this side. And his little feet look about like this. Then the back leg is going to just be a little higher because it's a little farther away. And the legs are pretty simple. And then his arm is coming out like this, as though he's reaching out. So maybe one of the butterflies will land. Okay, once you're happy with your little dinosaur, you can start painting. If you're not quite happy with what your little dinosaur looks like, well, that's what erasers are for. So you're just going to go ahead and erase the parts that you're not happy with and fix them. Okay, so in the book, the little Worrysaurus is red, and I'm going to go ahead and make mine red as well. Oh, I forgot one thing. He does have a little belly here that comes right about here and goes here. So I need to remember not to paint that part red. So you're going to go ahead and get your watercolor paints and kind of go along your lines and make your little Worrysaurus. Give you some time to do that. If you want to make your Worrysaurus a different color, you can. After we make the Worrysaurus, we are going to paint a whole bunch of butterflies. And in the picture in the book, that was my inspiration picture for this art project, some of the butterflies are really big. So you can make some of your butterflies really big if you want to. So just keep painting your little guy. Whoops. I am going to have to turn that red splotch that I just dripped into a butterfly, huh? Good thing I have that option. The whole point is to not worry, so I'm not going to worry about it. There is just going to have to be a little red butterfly right here. May as well go ahead and make it into one right now. And his legs. How are you doing? How's your painting coming along? And his tail. He's a fun little guy to paint. Now, while he's drying, we're going to be making lots and lots of butterflies. So when you're happy with how your dinosaur looks, go ahead and let him dry and then start in on your butterflies. So the first part of the butterfly that I made was the middle of the butterfly's body, and also the butterfly's antenna. So I'm going to let this little guy dry right here. And I'm going to take a black crayon, and I have to make sure my black crayon is a little bit sharp because I'm going to be making a lot of butterflies. And you can see that the butterflies' bodies are big, small, all over the place, going in all different directions. So that is what I'm going to do. Just start creating butterfly bodies and antenna going all over the place. I'm going to start with some big ones and then work my way to smaller ones to fill in. And you do the same. Lots of butterflies. And in the book, to me, the butterflies symbolize all the nice things in life that you don't notice when you're worrying about things. Now I'm going to start making some smaller ones, and just lots and lots. Now, if you want to make some of your butterflies going the other way, then you're just going to make your antenna going like that. And if you want to make some of your butterflies with only one wing showing, then you'll make your antenna like that. So just keep making lots and lots of these, but I'm going to stop now. Our picture looks kind of funny right now, doesn't it, with all the butterfly bodies, but no wings. We'll solve that problem really quickly. Okay, so start with one color of watercolors that you think you're going to want a lot of butterflies to be that color. In my case, I think I will start with this light green color just because I really like it. And I'm going to start making butterfly wings. The fun thing about butterfly wings is they don't have to be perfect. They're just a round shape. Okay. And then I'm going to do several green ones before I switch to another color, because then I don't have to wash my brush as much. So you might want to pick a color that you really like to start with. Okay, now I think I will switch to this orangey color. Don't be afraid to make your butterflies really big. After the paint dries on your butterflies, you can look and see if you want to add some more butterflies. And if you do, after that paint dries, I'm going to go ahead and do this sideways one. Then you're going to add designs on your butterflies. See how easy these are to make? And you'll make the designs with either oil pastel or crayon or more paint or whatever you want, really. Okay, now I have a feeling that the paint is a little bit dry on my Worrysaurus right now. So I am going to go ahead and add the spikes to my Worrysaurus's back. I'm just going right over that butterfly that I made there. No problem. You can draw these first if you want to. I'm just going to paint them because they're a pretty simple shape. Okay. In the book, these are like a light purpley color, so that's what color I'm making them, but you can make them whatever color you want to. And then the little Worrysaurus has some spots on his back, so I'm going to go ahead and make those. And they go all the way to the tail. And notice how I'm not, and this is funny that I'm saying this, but I'm not really worrying about it. I'm just having fun. Okay, I think my little Worrysaurus is dry enough that I can go ahead and add his nose, which is kind of big. And I want it to be a little bit dry because if not, the nose and the eye are going to spread all over. I'm not going to do the mouth with paint. I'm going to do the mouth later with either crayon or oil pastel. Now, for his belly, I am going to mix a little bit of white with a little bit of brown. Until I like the color I got, and paint his belly that color. Okay? Okay, now that I have that done, I can make some more butterflies. So once I get all these butterflies made, what do you think? Is this enough butterflies or should I add some more? I'm thinking I need to add some more. So once I do these, I'm going to get my black crayon out and I'm going to make more. And then once I make more and I've filled my whole space, I might think about doing something where I add a little color to the in-between areas. And what I did in my original piece was I just took some yellow splotches. So what you should do is continue making your butterflies, then add more butterflies, then think about if you want some color in between. In the book, the whole entire background of the page that inspired this art project is yellow. But I didn't want to paint the whole entire background yellow, so I just put in some yellow splotches. once you have all the butterflies that you want, double check, see if there's anything you forgot. I don't want my dinosaur to look like he's floating, so I'm going to give him a little ground to stand on. Then you can start adding details with your oil pastels or your crayons. So what I did was, on some of my butterflies, once it dried, I just took white oil pastel and I added dots to some of the butterflies. I added outlines to some of the butterflies. I took oil pastels and I shaded a little bit of dark red around my dinosaur and a little around my dinosaur's belly. And I just kept adding details until I liked how it looked. And I could still even add some more. Like, for example, on this guy, I could go around the outline with dark blue and then add some details with yellow. How many details you add really depends on the size of your butterfly. If you made some really big butterflies, you can add a lot of details. But if your butterflies are small, you can't add as many. Okay, have fun making your Worrysaurus and all his happy butterflies. I'll see you next time.